Up, everybody? Charles Campbell here, hoopdfw.com. On the court, off the court, I have a very special guest, Ani Umana, man. Ani of the Five State Hoop Report. He does podcasts on Ball is Life and podcasts of Field of 68. Ani, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, Charles. Like I'm excited, getting ready for this weekend. Obviously,
Yeah,
the first look scrimmage, but everything's going good. I just, you know how the grind is.
basketball season is here. High school basketball season, that is. It is here. How long? You know what? I don't think we've ever had this conversation. How long have you been doing the scouting? I know some of your playing career. Kind of take us back for a second. How did you get started? Where did you go from playing to, getting involved in things?
Yeah, so I was at Tyler Junior College my first 2 years. Then I
Okay.
went to UT Tyler, and literally like that first semester, I got hurt. I realized I wasn't going to graduate. Like I wasn't going to be an NBA player, right? Like I
Yeah.
realized I'm playing Division III basketball. And so then I decided just to focus on academics. Um, then I saw something on Future 150. They were doing interns.
I remember Future 150.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I did. I interned for Future 150. Then eventually I got hired on to, kind of do some work. And then I went from there to Lone Star Press Spotlight with Josh Woodson.
Yeah.
Uh, then I got in with Alan Branch, and then I started doing uh, my own scouting service, and kind of just did my own thing after doing a few years with Alan Branch, who I'm still very close with. That's like my mentor.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
man. Branch is he's a very great dude. Very great dude.
oh yeah, very very giving too, big heart.
Absolutely.
And so that's been I'm going on 11 years.
Oh,
I
wow.
started
Okay.
interning with Future 150 when I was 21.
And that was because I think I remember when Future 150, that was probably like what, 2014, 2015?
Uh huh.
2014,
Yeah,
right? So
2014.
when did you come out of UT Tyler? Because I played at Laterno. I went to Laterno and then I couldn't take it. I left. Like I could I couldn't
you
do
know,
Longview. I
I
couldn't
could
do
have done.
Longview.
It was funny. I did, and not a shot at Laterno, but I did a visit at Laterno, and I was like, I done a private school route my whole life in
Yeah.
high school. I was like, you know what, I want to go to somewhere.
Was Balikian still a head coach when you visited?
Yes, yes.
Oh man, I played. Yeah, no shade, no shade, no shade for Laterna. I came from Miami to Longview, Texas. That's like
Oh yeah,
that's
that's
culture
night and
shock,
day.
right?
Oh
But
yeah,
but surprisingly though, what I found out is Division III basketball is really good,
yes,
and it's normally like what a size thing. It's like you might have a post guy that's 6'6", 6'5", but dudes can play. Like as far
yeah.
as guard play,
Guards,
yeah, you are gonna be around some real dudes, like for real.
yeah. The guard plays crazy. Like the guard
It
and wing play, you're like, Shh.
yeah,
And
it's
you like
it's real crazy. That's
they
why I
could
like
play.
when I see kids turn their nose up at Division III. I'm like, bro, if you're not being recruited by anybody and a Division III isn't even looking at you, you might want to see exactly how good you are
Right.
because like we played against some real dudes. And then the age thing. Like I had a teammate who was already in the military. He was like 26.
Yeah.
Uh defensive player. He was the defensive player of the year in the ASC for like 2 years in a row. Like, yeah, it was like a
Mhm.
real grown man type of situation.
Yeah,
So
that's what people don't realize. There's a lot of 23, 24, 25 year olds at that level. And I mean they hooping for real and they got grown man strength. Uh, they could play at higher levels, but but that's how hard it is to play college basketball. That's what people it's ignorance when people don't when you're not getting recruited by no one, but you shake your head at a Division III. Well,
right,
it's maybe
exactly.
because you can't help them win. So how
But
good are you?
college basketball is very hard, man. I mean, and
Right.
then when we look at the stats, we say, it says 3% from high school to college, but like I just remember like that first kind of like get out on the gym, open gym play. I was like, oh, yeah, this isn't. I kind of turned my nose up at this a little bit. This is not that. I got to come and play every day. So, no, that's
Right.
really dope, man. But you got the event coming up, like Luke the rapper. No, the first look with Snoop Johnson. It's just going to be exciting. I looked at the schedule. You guys have put together a really really good schedule. Talk about your event a little bit.
Yeah, man. Like I'm just excited. This is the second year that we're doing this. and we did that at Drive Nation last year. Obviously, Drive Nation got sold.
Yeah.
We wanted to do it in a high school, like a setting, like just in a scholastic setting with the actual gyms and everything like that. And so, man, I'm excited. Like getting South Central Prep.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's in year one, but having Ryan Hampton and Alex Barther,
Mhm.
getting Owasso, Jalen Modnati, for them to come down. We got Lawton High School coming down from Oklahoma. I wanted to kind of get get more teams from the South, and I think the following year I'm gonna still get some more out of state teams. Last year we had
Yeah.
Bartlett, but it was like an interference this year with something they had going on. But then you talk about St. Mark's, with Luke
Oh, yeah.
Leskowski,
Yeah.
Dawson Batu, who plays South Central Prep, Dynamic Prep, who honestly, is a top 15 to 20 level team nationally,
They're
right?
very
Who
good.
went
They're
who
very
went
good.
toe, who went toe to toe with Montverde at the border league. They're there playing against Faith Family,
Yeah.
and Faith Family. I mean, BT has 20 state titles right now, so,
I just
you know that's a good match. That's a really good matchup. It's an interesting matchup, especially when you talk about like Jaden Toombs and Davion Atkins. You got Anthony Spencer from Faith Family, and then you
yeah.
got J.O. Jr., Leroy Kelly, Amari Reed at Dynamic Prep, and then Faith Family. I went to see a workout, and I think Lamar Hartfield is really going to blow up this
I,
season.
I
So
I don't know what's going on with his recruitment. He's really good. Lamar Hartfield is very good. Very good. I mean, I saw him at the Crowley Champion Shootout, and I was very impressed. He's very, very good.
yeah, I saw that you were out there, and I saw some highlights. I was like, oh, yeah, he's hooping. And then when I went to practice, I saw his body. I saw how he was making shots to the workout, and everything just was really fluid. I was like, oh, he maybe turned the corner.
I
That's
think
what I
so
told,
too. I
and that's
I,
what I
I
told
mean,
BT.
he looks like it. Yeah, he definitely looks like it. What do you think he translates to at the next level?
If he wants to really have a chance to really play low major, like
Yeah.
right away, low
Yeah.
plus. If he, is he like could he play in Conference USA? Could he be on a roster in the Conference USA? Yeah, yeah, he could like the more mid plus.
Yeah.
But I always kind of tell kids like when you're kind of if a higher level school would take you but wouldn't play you, then you got to ask yourself, okay, what's the development like at that level at that school? Or I can go here and I can rock out, get my money up through NIL. So I definitely think if he wants to have the real chance to play right away, I'll say
Yeah.
low plus, low major. But
Yeah.
I
I
definitely
mean,
think he's a no-brainer mid-major talent.
coaches, y'all need to see him. I mean, I know you guys do you already have some schools? I know you were talking about it on Twitter as far
Yeah.
as confirmation. Are you able to talk about it? Are you able to say, we already
Yeah,
have some
like
of these schools coming?
we'll have all the local ones: SMU, UNT, Rice out of Houston,
Yeah.
TCU. Um, got some like I know like Wichita State talk about coming, Duke, Kentucky. Have
Yeah.
talked about that. That's not confirmed. And some of the others like I want like A&M Corpus Christi. Like I've talked to the University of Texas. We've talked to them. So we're going to have, I mean, projected from what we've been getting, it's about 15 to 20, 25
Yeah.
college coaches, Division One coaches. If not, and we'll have some JUCOs there. We'll have a few D2. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. I think, sorry. I just think like for a scrimmage event, you're going to get high level schools. Everyone's really excited. About some of the young players that we have, those 227s, getting an early look on them. Obviously, 226s, and some are still looking for like a 225 gem, which we will have. Like, Vontae Sanders from Sherman. He's going to get Lancaster with Devon Pearson. That was one of my matchups. I won like the battle, like the best unsigned 225s. So yeah, I mean, I think we have what every school is kind of looking for. If I'm looking
Yeah.
for a high major or mid or a high major, 227, 226 is there. If I'm looking for an unsigned senior, it's there. If I'm looking for like a mid major or mid plus 226, is there. It's all there in the first look.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, that's those type of opportunities. They don't happen often, and you guys are really set it up to be really, really good. Speaking of Vontae Sanders, man, I really want to see him. I mean, the buzz on him right now is crazy. Um, I've seen some mixtapes. I haven't seen them in person, but I've seen some mixtapes. People are saying shooting guard, wing. What is his skill set? What is his play like?
I mean, definitely someone like you could say a big wing or like a tweener, three
Okay.
four that can really shoot the basketball from the perimeter. He can put the ball on the floor. He can kind of post up in the mid post and face up and score.
Yeah.
The score. I mean, he can score and he can score inside and out. I think I get why people may want to say shooting guard, but I
Yeah.
think honestly, like Charles, we've been in the game. Like that kid, he go on campus, ain't nobody put him at the two.
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Right. Right.
now
Right. 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 Right.
they're gonna play into his strengths,
Yeah.
but they're not gonna put him at the two, especially coming out as a freshman. Because
Yeah.
he does rebound it well enough. I think he can attack off the dribble, he can attack closeouts. I think with his size and ability to be a scorer, um, he can. I think he's a 3-4, and
Yeah.
I think he's the Division 1 level 3-4.
3-4.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, he can score. Like one thing about he can score inside and out, but he can do a lot on the he can do a lot on the perimeter, and I think the higher position you put him in, like I think that's where he can really exploit mismatches.
Yeah. Yeah. What type of team is Sherman bringing? Are they going to be a contender when we talk about UIL playoffs, districts?
Yeah, I think so. Like Sherman, and even traditionally, they've always kind of just been in the mix. I don't think they're a team that I know the state how they structure it now with like the big school. I don't know where
Small
they're
school.
at with
Yeah.
all that small
Yeah.
school, but I think they're going to win the district. I think they're going to have a chance to win the district. I think they're going to be a really good team. They're not going to have a lot of losses this
Yeah.
season, especially Bonte. And they got some other pieces, guys that just really play their role. And Coach Manny does a terrific job of just having them structured. They defend, and they play the right way. So I think they're a team that obviously going to contend to win their district, and they're going to make a few. They can make a few rounds run, few
Yeah.
rounds run in the playoffs.
Yeah, I have them circled. I mean, that is probably. I mean, all of this is the reason why I'll be there. It's a great event, but like, sure, I want to see this kid. I mean, because again, all the hype, all the conversation. But that matchup with Lancaster, that's no joke. You'll really get to see, if he can play or not, because we know they're not going to come out and play with you. They're going to attack you defensively. They're going to press you. They're going to put a lot of pressure on you. Talk about Nunu Jones. What's going on with him over at Lancaster?
Yeah, Nunu, man, he's someone that can really just kind of get downhill, get the spots. He's tough. I remember when I was with Taka at the time playing
Yeah,
against when he was at Pinkston, and he was just a handful. He just got wherever he wants.
he wanted to go.
Recruiting wise, probably someone needs to wait late. I mean, he'll have a variety of schools that'll be interested in him, I believe. But I mean, he's tough. He's tough as nails, and he gets wherever he wants. I think he's just someone that's got to be a little bit patient. He'll have to be a
Yeah,
little bit patient, and really just know what level he wants. I mean, he'll have it. He'll have a lot of different levels if they haven't already asking about offering him and stuff like that. So he just
yeah.
will need to decide what he wants.
Yeah, I've heard his name. A couple of coaches have talked to me about him and asked me about him, and like I said, I'm coming back around. So 2025 class, I wouldn't say I missed it, but I know very little about what's going on in 25. I'm really kind of focusing on 26, 27, and getting
Right?
started with the 28th. But I think he'll have choices. I'm sure he will have choices, and it's just a matter of where he would like to go. But Lancaster always brings it. Now, a little birdie told me that Jalen Tyson is back at Kimball. How?
Jalen Devine.
I mean, excuse me, not Jalen Tyson. I don't know why I got that confused. Cleveland
It's okay.
Cavaliers.
It's 7 a.m.
Jalen
People don't
Dean.
know.
Yeah, you know what? It's early. Jalen Dean Vines. I said Jalen. So shout out Jalen Tyson though. Cleveland Cavaliers from Dallas, first round pick.
Jalen.
But yes, I heard Jalen Dean Vines is back at Kimball. Is there any truth to that?
I heard that is truth. I heard that
Yes.
that's basically done. I heard J12 is back to Kimball, and he makes them more athletic and
Bruh.
scarier. They were already athletic. you throw something up towards the rim. You got four guys like with their hands on top of the backboard trying to block it. Now
Exactly.
you add another guy. You add another guy that's gonna have some crazy tip dunks, transition finishes, all that. So yeah, J12. I did hear that, and I've also heard uh, some intel that Devon Pearson actually may be off the board.
Really?
Yeah, he may.
Are we expecting that to come out kind of soon
I think it
or?
was, yeah, I think we're expecting to hear that like later this week or next week. But I did hear
Okay.
he may be off the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing where he goes. I mean, but that makes Kimball scary. Mari Wickware, 27, Lance Carr, 25. I mean, they are a buzzsaw. You run into them and they are after you from the tip, and then you got Nick on the sideline screaming and and hyping them up. Man, that's a tough matchup. That's a tough matchup early in the season too.
Mm-hmm. It's a real tough matchup. It's a real tough matchup because you know how intense Nick is,
Yes.
and he just gets after it. And those boys, they play hard. They're gonna trap. They're gonna foul the crap out of you, man. Like, but it's all good, you know. Like
It's a part of it, yeah. Tough
it's a part of it.
DISD basketball.
Yeah, it's gonna be a physical affair. You're gonna have to really box out and be desperate when you play them. But like, man, when they get in transition, I don't know. Like, you have any live ball turnovers, and if you're missing a lot of shots, it's a long day for the other team.
Yeah, facts. I know Mari Wickware was I think he was getting over injury or nursing an injury at Pangos. But talk about him a little bit. I saw him this summer at TABC and very impressed by his game. Very much
Yeah,
impressed. But he's still a youngster though. Like the ceiling seems to be so high with him.
yeah. Like when you talk about like Mari Wickware, like a big wing with a physical frame, especially for someone that is a sophomore, he can really score. Like especially like with pull up jumpers, he can get to the paint. He likes to really throw his body around and finish. He knows how to kind of create angles and has good footwork. He's very advanced with the skill wise to his age, and that's what's
Yeah.
really impressive to me. And he like embraces the physicality. And he's gotten better as a rebounder. I think last year he was just an okay rebounder. I think he's getting better actually, and it's just more effort
Yeah.
on that end. It's more effort on the defensive end that he's showing. But offensively, he's just such a problem because of his body and his approach to just like going right at the defender. And but you can't just play off him because he has really good touch from the perimeter.
Yeah, that's a fact. And then you got Lance Carr. Looks like to me, my opinion is that he looks like he might become a 3-and-D at the next level.
Yeah.
Has that ability. He's really been shooting the ball very, very well from three. But Kimball is really a like I hate to say it early, but I just expect to see them at State. I don't think that, especially with Dean Vines coming back, J12. I don't see too many teams really dealing with them. They have too many options on both sides of the ball to really kind of disrupt what you got going on.
Right. Kimball I mean, they have a roster. They're well coached, but they also have a roster because I think they're 4A now.
Yes.
Am I right?
I believe you're correct. Yes.
You're gonna win games off just pure talent. Like
right.
They're gonna have some games where they can be bad.
Yeah, they can be bad, but they're gonna outrun you, outjump you, and absolutely.
Right. But I think for me, I project them to win a state title. I think this team may be better than Nick's team that won a state title. I want to say what was that 3 years ago with T. John Brown. I want to say that was 2-3 years ago.
Yes.
I think this team has a chance to be better than that team.
Yeah. That was I mean, I don't know. This might be. I've seen Kimball for some years. They might be, in my opinion, the best Kimball team in maybe the last 10 years. It's lofty. Real. It's lofty, right? It's very lofty, but they just the way that they play and the weapons that they have is just like I don't see too many previous Kimball teams, even with Arterio Morris and all of that. I don't see them really being able to handle this particular team. They just seem that good. I'm looking forward to that matchup. Who do we have them playing against on Saturday?
I think Saturday. I think we have a Colleen Ellison. They play Colleen Ellison with with JoJo, who's going to Colorado State.
Yeah.
JoJo McIver, who's a 225 going to Colorado State. So that's going to be a really fun matchup. I don't know if you've seen JoJo play, but he when he put on that Clean Ellison jersey, he put on the show.
I was gonna say like the Colleen Ellison and the Colleen teams, they just have that toughness. I don't know if it has anything to do with the military or being in that vicinity, but those teams come up with a certain level of toughness, and that's going to be a really good physical matchup. And like you said, I have not seen them play, but I look forward to it, especially they have somebody that can kind of go up against this monster that's Kimball, man. Um, Parrish, talk about Parrish a little bit.
You know
Parrish
what,
Pistol.
Parrish, Coach Ajami, he's done has done a really good job just with developing talent there, and just putting them through the grind and putting them in tough schedules these past few years. And I think they're a team that can compete with a lot of like high level public schools. You got the Almater twins.
Yeah.
They're just like big, burly, like
I was gonna say big, burly, physical dudes.
yeah, they're just like hit. They can rebound. Like they play bigger than their height. Whatever they're
Yes.
listed, like they. I don't think they're taller than me, but like
Right.
they could if someone was 6'8" or 6'9" guarding them. I mean, on them, like they can box them out and just go grab a rebound. They're just so
Yeah.
strong. They're so physical. Their off the dribble game's gotten better because they can get downhill. They're starting to make open threes. That was always my biggest concern, and they've done a good job of really polishing up their mechanics. They're
Yeah.
just a problem at the high school level because they're just so big and strong
Yeah.
and physical. Just off that's just the baseline, and then obviously as they've grown their skills, they've been good. And then they got a big fella. Forgot his name. He transferred over there. He's a 226, and he's kind of coming along about 6'8", 6'9", skilled,
Okay.
more of like a stretch big, but
Yeah.
he's starting to learn how to play through physicality, which is going to be like the low hanging fruit for him at the end of the day. But that Paris squad, they got shooting, they're tough as shit, and Coach Ajami's done a good job in the past few years, really putting them through a strong schedule. To now, I think like they have a chance. They won the state title last year. I think they have a chance this year, but I also think they could do that with some really key big time like public school wins.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do we see a repeat of the state championship? And I would probably agree with you. I definitely would, especially with the Twins. They are definitely very, very physical. I
Yeah.
watched them, and I was kind of surprised at how physical they were. Because, like you said, they're not super tall, but they play much bigger than what they actually are.
Right.
And that makes it very tough. Speaking of private school, St. Mark's, you have Lasowski and Batee. I mean, that's a deadly match. I mean, the matchup, deadly duo. And Batee seems to kind of elevating. He's elevating right now. He came to Pangos. He missed Saturday, but came to Sunday, and it was we would have gave him the MVP had he been there Saturday.
Right, no, 100%. When you talk about Dawson, he's right now projected as like a top 30-ish player in the
Yeah.
country. I mean, he's just a forward that can just do a lot. I mean, we talked about someone I seen him like really attack closeouts and score, get into like the pull-up jumper, especially after attacking the closeout, or just a spot up three, or just posting up when he has the size advantage.
Yeah.
Dawson just gets his buckets in ways. He rebounds like some at St. Mark's because there really is. There's no one that's really identifies a true point on that squad.
Right.
You're going to see him bring the ball up. Now, I'm not saying he's a point guard, but I think he's just your modern day like big wing basketball player. Right.
At the high school level, he can definitely handle that responsibility for sure.
100%. So I just think Dawson just, he comes from a good, strong basketball bloodlines. I think he's different than his brother, who Dylan was more like just freak athlete, just powerful play above the rim. I think he plays with more finesse. I think he has more skill on the perimeter, but he does recognize when he needs to go inside and get his own buckets. And then that St. Mark's team with Luke Laskowski, who committed to St. Louis, I think, Luke.
I love him.
I think he's one of the more under the radar guys that we have in the state, just because he's always productive. And then what he does translates. Like, he's more athletic than you think.
For sure.
Than you think. And defensively, he can get out there and guard. And he can make shots at a high clip. And at the end of the day, that's going to be a reason that he'll have the potential to see the floor. And St. Mark's actually has another kid, Asher Collins. He's a 227, I believe. Someone to
Okay.
definitely look at. I think he'll be a Division 1 prospect down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving on, Crowley. We got Crowley here. Obviously, Cam McGilvery blew up this summer. He's continued to blow up. I saw him at the Crowley Champion Shootout. Looks like he's turning a corner. The only question mark I have is let's get that jumper, falling at a
Right.
high clip. But as far as guarding him one on one, getting downhill, I don't see too many people being able to stop him.
No, 100%. I mean, someone that can just really just score. I mean, he's more of a scorer, but I agree with you. Like the 3-point shooting, I definitely think it needs work because everything, all his scoring comes from off the dribble, right?
Yeah.
And he
Hmm.
really kind of has to work to, to get his. But he's athletic. He has long arms. I don't know what his wingspan is, but he has long arms. He can really defend multiple guard spots because of his length and his athleticism. I'm excited to see how Cam develops as a 3-point shooter and as a playmaker too. I think
Yeah.
he shows it in flashes and spurts that he can really make plays for others, and I just want to see a little bit more consistency with that.
Yeah, when I saw Crowley play, I did see that. I saw that he was working on his playmaking, getting others more involved and seeing, a couple plays ahead. But like you said, the 3-point shooting, he has a good looking shot. He's got a good looking jumper, but I think, when you're athletic like that, you have long arms like that, physically, matching up with guys, you kind of, he's got a great first step. That first step is, lightning quick. You know what I mean? And so like I said, I told Jaywalk, I saw Jaywalk, and I said, you need to get him in the gym every day and shoot every single day until his arm is tired. Like, because it'll open up the rest of his game. That way you're not to say he's one dimensional, because I don't think he's one dimensional, but you get that nice jumper on you, man. You can kind of do whatever it is you want to do out there.
Like the saying goes, shooting is the separator. At the end of the
Yeah,
day, if you can really make threes, that separates you.
absolutely. Absolutely. So Plano, we're moving up north. We got
Yeah.
Plano coming out. How do those guys look this season?
You know what? That is one school that I wanted them. I got them later in the day because I want to really sit down and watch them. That's one school I
Yeah.
have not seen all fall league, and that's on me. But that's why I kind of had them close to evening, so I can really lock in on them. But I know how Plano likes to play. They really have the system. They always have a guy or two that's like, there's going to be like, who the hell is this kid? Like it was
Right,
Tyron, it
right,
it
right,
was Tyron Mason,
right.
who's actually doing good at UNT, and I think this year, like I think they got a few like younger guys, but I need to go sit down and watch them. That's why I had them
Yeah,
later in the.
yeah. So you guys play. I'm sorry. You're the GM of Texas Storm. You guys
Mhm.
play on Friday. Do you have any games on Saturday?
Yeah, so we're gonna play South Central Prep actually on Saturday.
Okay, that's Ryan Hampton, right?
Ryan
Talk ab-
Hampton. So
talk about he's an RJ clone to me. He looks just like RJ. He looks. I mean, I don't know how Rod did it. I don't know how he works them out, trains them, but it looks like he just did the same thing with with RJ that he's doing with Ryan. But I mean, talk about Ryan Hampton, his ascension. Is he top? What is he? Top 5 ranked kid right now? I think the first set
mhm,
of rankings for his class came out. They got him in the top 5,
right.
which is an amazing range. But talk about his game a little bit and the South Central Prep team.
Yeah, well, Ryan, taller than RJ, 6'6". He's a wing. He scored. I mean, he scores it. Like Ryan can really he can shoot it from the perimeter. Like he has a 3 ball. He has the mid range pull. He's athletic.
Yeah,
He doesn't have like right now. He doesn't hold like crazy blow by speed, which is fine because he just is like he's athletic and just rises up over
he can rise
anybody.
above you. Yeah,
And he has that dog. He has that dog in him. Like one thing about RJ, like and RJ and Ryan is that whatever if you say maybe they're not this or that, like they play so hard and have like a not give up attitude
yeah, facts.
when the ball in their hands that it's so hard to stop them. And I think Ryan, that's what Ryan really holds. That kind of makes which is the separator, which you see him as a top 5 player in the country. On 3 has him number 1. But yeah, he's in the mix with all those guys. CJ Roser, Kim Malachi, um, drawing a blank. But there's several guys at 27 class.
Yeah,
Baba, but there's several guys in that class that he's right there with all of them. And then if you have him, you say he's number one, you really have a strong argument like On Three does. And that South
Yeah,
Central prep, obviously Alex Barther's a 226 kid who I think he's still ranked top 150 in the country. I know he kind of had a rough summer. But I think this is an opportunity for him to kind of get back. He's a big wing as well that started out, in his like late middle school, early high school career being more post, who's really transitioned to a wing. And
yeah.
I think this is a fresh start for him. I think we're going to see a better Alex Barther with more responsibilities. And I think he's going to really take care of it and do his thing.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing it, and seeing RJ. I look forward to seeing Ryan and how that translates. But I'm telling you, he looks like a Ryan, like he looks just like him as far as just the game. I mean, like you said, different physical tools, but they do not care. They don't, and they get up for matchups. You put them in front of somebody, it flips a switch. You know what I mean? And so that's definitely going to be an exciting matchup. Grand Prairie, somebody that's really kind of come on lately. Stephen McLeod, 2027 Grand Prairie. How are they looking? How's this team looking?
And before we get to Grand Prairie, when our Ryan, when I say wing, he's a 2-3-2, mainly two. I want to say because you know how Rod get. Rod,
I was about to. Hey, I was about to say.
you know how Rod get. Rod,
Rob was about to call you. He was gonna call you. He was gonna
yeah,
call me, man. Y'all need to
yeah,
hey run that back, edit that tape, get it right. He's a
yeah.
two. He's
And
a
Rod,
three.
we
Nah,
ain't
for
editing
real.
that tape. This shit gonna
Yeah,
be out.
we not. He is what we say he is.
Right.
Nah, Rod. Shout out Rod Hampton, man.
Yeah.
Um,
So
but
Grand
yeah,
Prairie. Man, I'm excited about Steve McLeod. I think he's someone with
yes,
a high ceiling. You got to see him at Pangos, and I know you think the same. Like he's someone that has a lot of tools.
yeah,
I just is this a year where he puts it together? Obviously, he's still a sophomore, so there's time, but he has a chance to be a top 100 player in the country. I mean, he's
yeah,
that talented, has that level of upside. It just is he going to embrace who he is or what he is or the role of like rebounding and protecting the rim while also like doing the dirty work inside offensively, but also showing the perimeter game. I think if he's able to do that, he puts himself in a position uh, to really be looked at from like the on threes to 247s and all that.
yeah. He plays more mature than what he is. I was kind of shocked. I kept looking at his classification because I was like, he plays a
Right,
lot more mature. But talking to some of his coaches, he kind of has a background story that probably makes him more mature as a person
right.
first, which probably translates onto the basketball court. But yeah, I think like you said, if this is the year that he puts it all together, Grand Prairie is going to be really tough. I mean, and put him on his back and I like to see it, but Stephen McLeod, definitely a star by his name for me, for sure. Rowlett, we saw Kadarian Urine. Is it Urine? Urine? How
I
is it?
say you
Kadarian
ring. I hope we're
Urine?
both.
Yeah, yeah. I hope so too. I'm pretty sure I'll talk to him Saturday. He'll fix it for me if I get it wrong. But
Right.
2027, he's about what 6'3", 6'3" and a half, physical, big, athletic guard at Rowlett. But talk about the Eagles for a little bit.
Yeah, like Rowlett, they're a fun team. Coach Gerald Booker, he has
Yeah.
that job. Gerald Booker, that's my dude. So I'm
Shout
excited
out
to
Book.
have him. I sound excited to have him. He can really coach. He really coaches his
Sure
guys to
can.
teach them the right stuff, and they play hard. And I think with Kadarian, he has the right coach for the next couple of years to really develop him. Like we seen him play like a strong guard. He can get to the paint. He's athletic. I don't think he even knows what to do with his athleticism yet.
Yeah.
uh, but he can get to the paint. He can finish. He plays above the rim. He makes like open shots. I definitely think the shooting still needs to really come along. I think he defends, but he's tough as shit.
Yeah.
I like Kadarian. I like what Gerald Booker has just overall with that team. I seen them play. I watched them film and really did like a dive on them. I think they got some pieces this year, and I think Gerald's going to get the most out of this squad. I think they're a team just to really watch out and look out for during the season. Obviously, with Kadarian, it makes it easy because you got a Division One prospect, you got potential high major guy, but just the team itself, I think Gerald's going to lead them to the
Yeah.
right
Yeah. Booker is one of the best coaches we have in the
direction.
area as far as, the X's and O's, the effort. understanding the game, teaching the game, and then from the development of young men. He cares about young men. He cares about developing young men. So his teams are always going to, overachieve, excel, and do a lot more than what you say. And I think you're right. Having a talent on a team such as a Kadarian Ureen, who I would say is a high major guy for sure, um,
Mhm.
would take them over the top and do a lot. Hallsville, we got an East Texas squad coming, and we saw. I don't even want to. Is it Ballerine? David
Yeah,
Ballerine?
Dave
Is it
Ballerin. Yeah.
Ballerine? We saw him at Pangos.
Mhm.
Hallsville, small East Texas town, but it seems like they're playing some good ball out there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like
I'm sorry.
listen, yeah, you good. This is year two for Rusty Walker to come to our event. Last year, I remember seeing David. He was really raw as a big
Yeah.
man. Like all he could really kind of do was block some shots here and there and finish when he was open. Now I'm seeing more ball skills with him. I still
Yeah.
think he's on the raw side, but I think
Very
things
much
are
raw. Yeah.
he's very confident though. Like his confidence from last year to this year is like night and day, and
Yeah.
it's exciting to see, which means he's putting in work and he's getting better. I think he can potentially add versatility to the offensive end, but he has such long arms and big hands. What he is as an interior defender is fantastic. And shout out to Coach Rusty. They're actually one of the three East Texas teams. I'm from Tyler, so
Yeah.
uh, Hallsville, Tyler Legacy, and then Bishop TK Gorman, my alma mater, is actually they're playing in the morning. So
I was
yeah,
I
got
was going to ask you about that because we're going to jump to the prep schools, but Bishop TK Gorman, that's where you played, that's where you had your career.
mm-hmm.
What is that like now in the position that you're in, going back to your high school and being able to put them on a platform to just kind of, give the kids exposure, help them out and show them, basketball at a high level like that?
Yeah, that's what I always wanted. Like I remember when I was playing, we played, but we didn't have any level of exposure like that at all. So I wanted to give my alma mater, those players, those guys a chance just to see how that looks like or to see how they can compete, or if there's somebody that is like that on that team to really have the
Yeah.
opportunity to shine. It's just more of a that's my school. I want to help those guys out and putting in if I can help put them in a platform that can raise exposure for their players, those kids. I mean, that's huge. And I just think and that's Tyler kids in general because we don't get it like that. But
I was going to
especially
say, yeah.
yeah, especially Bishop TK Gorman, like that's my school. So I'll do anything I can to help those guys out. Coach Kevin Murray, who I've known even since I was in college, a really good coach, really good dude. So yeah, man, I just want to help. I want to help all kids.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
good kids, not like good players, but good kids.
Good kids. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's saying that that's very important. It's like there's a difference. There's
Yes.
very much a difference. And I'm the same way. I'll help good kids, not good players. I mean, we see good players. Good players are a dime a dozen. They show up, but good kids, it makes you want to go the extra mile. It makes you want to do a little more to help them out. So I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, man. It because you when you're doing stuff like that and that kid is actually like appreciative of what you're doing, or they just have a great family, or just they have a story and you just want to help them really fulfill their story that they want to portray. I mean, that's the fun part of this. That's the part that there's no money that's needed for that.
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct about that. Um, so we have the prep school division. So Friday night, this is the first time ever you've had the prep schools come in and play on Friday.
Hmm.
Um, Uchenna Academy out of Canada. Where in Canada are they?
I have no idea where in Canada they are. That's my fault. Sorry, Coach Bro. I don't know.
Oh,
uh,
I love the
but
honesty though. I do.
they got a lot of young talent. They
Yeah.
got size. I think Elijah Fisher's younger brothers are actually on that team.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean they're going to be good. I've had some people that have gone out and seen them play and seen them practice, and they're like, yeah, this is a good squad. And I wanted to expand and get more teams from different states. in countries. And yeah, when
That's huge.
shout out to Coach Pat Washington, WTY. He connected me with Coach Rowe.
Okay.
So yeah, I was like, hey, it's like no brainer. You're going to be here this weekend. I got games for you this weekend. So
Right. Speak,
Uchenna's going to be a team.
Speaking of going back 1 second back to the high schools, WTY, they are surprised. They've had a couple of kids show up over there, and I hear they have a big, like, what are they gonna be looking like?
Pat always going to have some bigs. One thing Pat Washington going to do is to have some damn bigs. But WT White, I think the guard play. I think they added a PG
Yep.
who I think will be able to like get them in the offense. Jamison Thrower as well is going to be. It's like a combo. He's a talented scholarship level guard, and he's a senior. DJ Ogumeka, who's the big. He's like 7'1" now. I think he's maybe
Oh,
7'1".
wow.
He's a giant, just with like
Yeah, I heard he was a footer.
oh yeah, like freakish arm length. I think his wingspan's nuts. Who can just protect the rim and finish. He's getting better. And then they have another big he's like a 4 or 5 man who's like a more your skill post that you can throw it inside and score. But I thing with WTY has always been like guard play. And
Yeah.
I think they've done some things where they're going to have more stable guard play, which is going to lead to wins.
Yeah, I look forward. They're a sleeper team for me. They're somebody that I expect them to surprise me because of like you said, all the things that you just listed. I've heard some really good things. But back over to the prep schools. You GM the Texas Storm and saw you guys at the prep school event a couple weeks ago. 26 Austin Centers.
Yeah, that was an awful time for us. Those guys got cursed out pretty good for the effort. I ain't gonna lie, that was rough. But Austin Centers, 226. He's man, he's athletic as shit. He's strong.
He is.
Like one thing I like about Austin is that his motor's up. He really loves to attack that rim. His jumper is getting there, especially as a spot up shooter. But high major athlete. Well, I think the skill set is coming along. Now, I ain't saying he's a high major player,
Right.
yeah, but he's kind of like he's in that cusp. He's a no-brainer Division I guy, but if the skill set can come along, I think he'll give himself a shot to get Power 5 or Power 6 level interest. Now, maybe is that the best situation for him at the end of the day? Who knows? I mean, we got 2 seasons for that. But I think Austin's athleticism, when he went to John Lucas's camp, he was ranked 5th in the athletic testing. So like, I mean, when I say athletic, like he is very, very athletic. It's just the skills coming together, and let's just see if he can do that, when the lights are bright.
Absolutely. So from your perspective, as obviously you're an event operator, you're doing an event right here, but as a scout, an evaluator, what you've been doing the last 11 years, what do you look for in an event like this, and what do you want players to see? What do you want them to know prior to that tip off?
Oh man, I just play the right way. When you see the schools, when you see the cameras and everything, play the right way. Don't play to the cameras. That's something I have a hard time even telling guys when I was coaching. Right, like this, just play the right way. Do what you do best. And I think that's the biggest thing. Sometimes, well, a lot of times you see guys doing shit that, that's not what they do best. You're just trying to show me you're this when you're not. I just think play to your strengths. You put in a lot of weight. You put in a lot of work. Then show the work that you've done. Don't go outside the box. Just play the right way. I hate when guys start playing really selfish and playing really sloppy just because they see stuff. Just play the right way. That's what I want to see. And even though it's a scrimmage, but it's a week later you play at your actual game.
I was gonna say, season starts a week later. Yeah.
So like this is kind of like, even the wins and losses don't count, but it really does show where these schools are at. Like if you look really bad this weekend, next weekend ain't gonna look too pretty for you. Which is what I'm starting to notice. So I definitely think for players, man, just play the right way and play to your strengths. Don't go outside the box on this. You really just make the shit more complicated.
Yeah, facts. That's great advice. Man, I look forward to being with you guys this weekend, hanging out, watching some good basketball. How can people find you, get involved with what you do, and just support you?
Oh yeah. Before that, $5 off. We're gonna send a QR code.
Mm,
The parents fill out our attendance print, scan, and complete both QR codes. They get $5 off. If you play on Friday, you fill that out. It's $5 off on Friday and $5 off on Saturday. So yeah, like shout out to our sponsors, Athlete.ai and West Loop Law. They have two sponsors. They asked me, okay, we have these QR codes. What do we do? And I was like, you know what? Like, I want to put some money back in these parents' pockets. So,
yeah, that's what's up, man. You know that you got all types of conversations about the cost of events and attendance and things like that. That's really dope that y'all are doing that.
yeah, no, I appreciate it. So, yeah, no, definitely shout out to them. When you post this, I'll upload the QR code so everyone can see that. But yeah, definitely follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Ani_Umana, and yeah, you'll see me in a podcast coming soon. This one,
Yeah.
obviously, but some more stuff I got shaking up.
Ball is life, Field of 68. You do your own interviews, man. You're doing your thing. Very, very much proud, very much congratulations. You just got married. Congratulations.
Let's go.
There it is. There it is. Man, congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Congratulations. That's dope. That's dope, man. But man, I appreciate it. I know we both got some things we got to do this morning, and this has been a great conversation. We learned a lot about players, a lot about teams, and I just look forward to Saturday, man. This is Charles Campbell. This is On the Court, Off the Court, Season 2, Episode 2, Ani Umana, talking about the first look.
Peace out.